ExxonMobil, the oil behemoth worth hundreds of billions, is locked in an all-out legal war with California, the state that's pushing the envelope on climate accountability. We're talking refinery explosions, billion-dollar profits, deceptive plastics campaigns, and a bombshell First Amendment challenge that could reshape how companies talk about the planet's future. This isn't just business, it's a high-stakes showdown with national security twists and economic shockwaves. Stick with us as we break it all down, fast and furious. Let's rewind to the roots of this feud. ExxonMobil isn't new to California. Their story here dates back decades. Exxon planted roots in 1968 with a refinery in Benicia, smack near San Francisco Bay. Mobil beat them by nearly 40 years, firing up a massive 750-acre operation in Torrance in 1929, just 15 miles from LA's bustling core. The 1999 merger birthed ExxonMobil, handing them both sites and a prime spot in fueling California's explosive growth. They offloaded Benicia to Valero in 2000 but clung to Torrance for another 16 years. So why bail on one of the world's hungriest energy markets? The answer exploded into view, literally, on February 18, 2015. That day, routine work in Torrance's fluid catalytic cracking unit went haywire. A faulty valve let hydrocarbons surge where they didn't belong, sparking a massive blast. The explosion rattled seismographs, injured 4 workers, and blanketed neighborhoods with catalytic dust for hours. 8 more employees needed decontamination, and folks a mile out woke to white powder caking their cars and yards. But the real nightmare was a hunk of debris hurtled through the air, missing a storage tank by inches. That tank was packed with tens of thousands of pounds of modified hydrofluoric acid, a substance that, if released, forms a deadly ground-hugging cloud, scorching lungs, skin, and bones for miles. The U.S. Chemical Safety Board later deemed it a near miss, inches from one of America's worst industrial catastrophes. Over 333,000 people live within 3 miles, including 71 schools and 8 hospitals. Cal-OSHA, California's workplace safety agency, slapped ExxonMobil with 19 citations, 18 labeled serious for risks of grave harm or death. They accused the company of ignoring hazards and willfully dodging safety rules, calling it egregious. Fine. A measly $566,600, pocket change for a giant that pocketed $36 billion in profits in 2023 alone. But the hidden hit was that California drivers shelled out $2.4 billion extra at the pump over 6 months as the refinery limped along, supply tanked, and prices soared. Repairs cost ExxonMobil $162 million. 7 months post-blast, ExxonMobil announced the sale of Torrance to PBF Energy, a bargain hunter from New Jersey, for nearly $500 million. By July 2016 they were out, no fanfare, no blame game, just gone. But this exit wasn't the end. It was the spark for a raging legal inferno. California came swinging in September 2023 with Attorney General Rob Bonta suing ExxonMobil and 4 other oil majors for allegedly lying about fossil fuels' climate role for 50 years. The suit demands they cough up decades of profits earned via deception, still grinding through courts today. Hey, if you're locked in on this explosive corporate saga, do us a solid and smash that subscribe button now. We deliver the hard-hitting breakdowns you won't get elsewhere. Join the crew. Fast forward to September 2024, Bonta zeroed in on ExxonMobil again, this time over plastics. As the globe's top producer of single-use plastic polymers, the stuff in bottles, bags, straws, and wrappers, they allegedly knew mechanical recycling could handle only a tiny fraction of waste. Yet, they hyped it as a silver bullet, ballooning production, while offloading cleanup costs to the state and environment. Studies now show this junk in oceans, landfills, even human blood. Bonta blasted it as a campaign of deception for profit, seeking billions in disgorged earnings and an abatement fund for restoration. ExxonMobil fired back. California's known for decades their recycling flops. Blame them, not us. Let's collaborate, not litigate. But words turned to action in October 2025 when ExxonMobil flipped the script, suing California over Senate Bills 253 and 261, landmark 2023 laws mandating climate transparency. Senate Bill 253 targets firms with over $1 billion in revenue doing business in the state. Report your global greenhouse gas emissions full scope, Scope 1, direct ops, Scope 2, bought energy, and Scope 3, the vast value chain from suppliers to customers. Senate Bill 261 hits at $500 million earners demanding disclosures on climate financial risks and mitigation plans. Both kick in 2026. California sells this as pure transparency, akin to financial filings. Investors need climate intel for smart bets, and with the state battling wildfires, floods, and rising seas, it's got legit stakes. But ExxonMobil is crying constitutional foul, claiming it violates First Amendment free speech by forcing them to parrot state-approved narratives they deem bogus. Their suit, filed October 24, 2025 in federal court, argues the Greenhouse Gas Protocol unfairly pins blame on size, not efficiency, turning reports into tools for public shaming and policy pressure. We're compelled to frame our emissions and risks in disputed terms, they contend, all to spur outrage. Deeper cut on Senate Bill 261, ExxonMobil slams it as state-mandated fortune-telling. Firms must speculate on 2050 horrors, sea level spikes, storm surges, policy flips, and publish as if they're certainties. Amid tech unknowns and political volatility, this is impossible and unconstitutional. Plus, with no California ops, their actions in Kazakhstan pipelines, Canadian refineries, why should Sacramento dictate global chatter? It's jurisdictional overreach regulating out-of-state emissions. This plastic suit bounced around. ExxonMobil tried federal court in November 2024. California pushed back to state turf, winning in February 2025. It's pending, they're eyeing billions in damages. Meanwhile, the climate challenge roils federal waters, threatening California's whole green playbook. If ExxonMobil wins, nutrition labels, toxics inventories, consumer warnings, all corporate speech mandates, could crumble under expanded Citizens United vibes. They're not alone. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce sued first in early 2024 over the same bills, now in Ninth Circuit appeals. A district judge denied their injunction in September 2024, calling emissions rules uncontroversial and risk disclosures investor-friendly. But appeals loom, and ExxonMobil's suit adds firepower from the world's biggest public oil firm. Flash to December 2025. ExxonMobil escalated with a defamation suit against Bonta and Eco Groups, demanding retractions and damages over recycling jabs. And don't forget April 2025, a revived 2017 lawsuit from a Torrance resident accuses ExxonMobil of groundwater toxics leaks near homes, tossed once but back for trial. They're battling legacies, soil contamination, neighborhood poisons, post-exit liabilities. ExxonMobil's playbook is aggressive. As Columbia's Michael Girard notes, they've sued shareholders in 2024 to quash climate resolutions, first ever chilling eco proposals off 2025 ballots. Litigation as offense, against owners, states, activists. CEO Darren Woods is making $44.1 million in 2024, which is 231 times what the median worker earns, and he oversees a $33.7 billion profit machine with endless legal ammo. Victory implications: California's laws tank, but broader, any ideological disclosure rules at risk. As the fourth largest economy, California's fall stalls national momentum. SEC rules wobble. Union of Concerned Scientists warns, it's an assault on transparency mandates when firms dislike the tune. Governor Gavin Newsom's cornered. He touted these bills as accountability game changers driving market decarbonization. Now ExxonMobil calls them censorship. Can't scrap them without surrender. Fixes won't dodge constitutional hits. Post-suit spin, shocking a top polluter hates transparency, like their plastics lies. We'll defend. But Ninth Circuit could side with speech claims nuking years of policy. Newsom juggles eco demands for plastics hammer while shielding laws against a deep-pocketed foe. Underreported angle: national security. ExxonMobil's suit timing syncs with California's refining meltdown. Phillips 66 shuttered LA ops in December 2025. Valero's killing Benicia and Wilmington by April 2026. 26% capacity vaporized. ExxonMobil ditched Torrance in 2016. No regrets. This legal fog repels investors. Why build amid deception suits, pollution raps, gouging probes, plus countersuits branding regs illegal? Representative Vince Vaughn sounds alarms. 32 military bases need reliable fuel. Shutdowns plus uncertainty shows vulnerabilities are mounting. No one's investing billions in shaky ground. Torrance Refinery is still churning under PBF, post $800 million upgrades, proving viability, minus ExxonMobil's baggage. California's oil ties span 140 years, built infra, jobs, profits. And now, exits galore. Shell sold Martinez, Chevron moved its headquarters to Houston. ExxonMobil pioneered the bolt-tying regs, suits, pressure. Better sue from afar than comply inside. Woods, speaking in a February 2024 Fortune chat, said net zero by 2050 is unrealistic, calling the cost the industry's dirty secret. The energy transition is expensive. Oil remains dominant, and by 2025 California is expected to import over 90% of its fuel from places like Korea and India, undermining its own environmental rules. The irony is that the state pushes green policies while leaning on dirtier imports. So what's next? The climate lawsuit is expected to drag on for years, with Chamber of Commerce appeals pending and ExxonMobil's district court case likely to head into appeals, possibly reaching the Supreme Court over circuit splits. Deadlines in 2026 will force companies to either comply under protest or refuse to do so. Most firms are expected to report, but in a coerced way, not collaborative. Meanwhile, the plastics case is seeking billions in state court, and is moving forward regardless of the outcome of the climate litigation. This is total warfare, California wielding suits for past sins. ExxonMobil Constitution shielding future regs. Newsom learns, poke energy titans, they poke back, using your courts. ExxonMobil's message, we're out but not done fighting. That's the full throttle on ExxonMobil versus California, from blasts to billions. For more rapid-fire news on corporate battles, policy wars, and the forces reshaping energy, subscribe now and bell up. Your support fuels us. Thanks for tuning in.